What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of my Road to Max series, and in this episode I am going to be giving you guys a crash course in Wintertodt. Alright, so Wintertodt is a skilling boss. It is a boss that you need to use the fire making skill essentially to defeat with a lot of other people if you're doing this in the Wintertodt world. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining a couple of different ways to do the Wintertodt, one that gives you more experience and one that is a little bit more AFK. But before we get into that, there is some things that you're going to need to get started with Wintertodt and you're always going to need to be wearing. So we'll get into that first right now. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to cover here is what you'll need to get started. So in Wintertodt, you are going to need warm clothing. And the reason that you need this is because Wintertodt is way in the north of Zaya, and it's supposed to be very, very cold there. And the way that this skilling boss works is, because of the cold, it gets into your clothes and causes periodic damage to you. Now this damage isn't very much. Sometimes it can be spread very far apart, and sometimes it can be just a few game ticks apart. But regardless, all of the items that you see on the screen scrolling through now are warm clothing for each slot, and you're going to need at least 5 pieces of warm clothing to not take a ton of damage every time you get hit by the cold. The next thing that you will need is some sort of woodcutting axe, and what I suggest you use is an infernal dragon axe. Now this dragon axe actually also acts as a piece of warm clothing that is warm in the weapon slot, and the main reason that you're going to need an axe is because you're going to be cutting something called broomer roots, which I will show you in just a bit. These broomer roots are the main point and the main idea of Wintertodt and what you're going to need to be doing. Next thing we will check out is what you're going to need in your inventory. And this doesn't look like much, but this is all that you need. You will need a tinderbox, a hammer, a knife, a Ceradomin brew, and some sort of teleport to get out. Now I'm using a construction cape because I have 99 construction. I can teleport directly to my house, use my rejuvenation pool, and my jewelry box to get back here very quickly. If you don't have 99 construction, you can obviously use house teleports in place of the cape, and if you have neither of these things, I suggest wearing a dueling ring so you can go to Clan Wars, jump in the white portal, and back out to reset your stats. Now what you're going to need these for is going to be the main part of the game. So the tinderbox, obviously you're going to need to light something in there, which I will again explain very shortly. The hammer is going to be for fixing a brazier if it breaks, and the knife is going to be for fletching the logs, which is optional, and I will also cover that. Now because you do take damage, you are going to want to have some sort of food in there, but generally one Ceradomin brew will do the job just fine. Depending on your HP level is how much damage you are actually going to take from the cold. The lower your HP, the lower ticks of damage that you take, the higher, the more damage you take. Alright, so now we can get into exactly how to do the Wintertodt. The first method that I'm going to be showing you guys is a little bit more of an AFK method. If you're not looking to pay 100% attention and just kind of get rounds in, get your points, and get out, this is what you're going to be needing to do for this. Now up in the top left hand corner, you can see that the Wintertodt is currently at about 50% health. Now I entered this game after it started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the next game. Generally, you don't want to start a Wintertodt game if Wintertodt's percentage is less than 80%. It'll make it harder for you to get the points you need, and you might just end up wasting time. Alright, so the Wintertodt game has just ended, and once again up in the top left there is a message that says the Wintertodt returns in. And this will give you a time as to when the next game is going to start. Now this can be anywhere between 30 seconds and about a minute and 30 seconds. It is random, and it generally just, whatever it feels like being as a time, that's what you're going to get. So sometimes you'll have a long time to bank and get back, and sometimes you'll only have about 30 seconds to get back. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for this timer to come down and do a game of Wintertodt, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Alright, so we got about 5 seconds before this game starts, and first thing you're going to want to do when the game starts is light this brazier right here. You'll get a huge XP drop for lighting this brazier. Once the brazier is lit, you will run over here and try to make sure that you are back in this very corner, because there is an attack that Wintertodt does that hits in a 3x3 square, but because of the location of this particular tile here, you will not take any damage because the attack cannot reach here. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting broomer roots. These broomer roots are going to be the main item that you're going to need for Wintertodt. And you can see over here they're in the form of kind of like a green log. So I am going to go ahead and get the rest of this inventory, and we'll move on to what to do next. Alright, so now that I have my inventory of broomer roots, I'm going to run over here and I'm going to start fletching them. Now this method with the fletching, it generally does not take you as long to get points, which you will need 500 to contribute fully to the game and get your supply crate at the end. Now this method is a little bit more AFK. You do still have to pay attention. As you can see, I just took some damage there. When you take damage, you're going to stop fletching and you're going to need to start fletching again. Now with the broomer roots, you can take as much damage as Wintertodt wants to do to you, but you'll never stop wood cutting. But you will stop fletching and you will stop doing the fire making when you're using the brazier, so you definitely have to look out for that. If you've taken a little bit of damage, just like that right there again, got to start fletching. You just got to pay attention to your HP, and you're definitely going to want to come stand over here so you're not standing on top of anybody, because then you won't really be able to tell when you take damage. Alright, so now that I have gotten all of my broomer roots fletched, I'm going to run over here and start to dump them in the brazier. And once again, pay attention to your HP up here, because if it drops, you're going to have to start putting them into the brazier again. There's a lot of people around here, and if you take damage, you're not really going to be able to tell which HP bar it is. So you definitely want to watch your HP up here. Now, as you can see, some people do have the redemption prayer on, because it does save you quite a few times if you end up taking too much damage. It will heal you back up. Now, periodically, this brazier here will break. Now, if the brazier breaks, this is where your hammer comes in. You can hammer it, fix it, and you will get 25 points for that. And then you will also have to relight it. So every time the brazier breaks, you have a chance to get an extra 50 points. Now, to get your supply crate, you only need to get 500 points. But if you're looking for the most fire making XP and the most points, you're definitely going to want to keep doing this. So after you're finished, you can run back over here, chop some more broomer roots, and generally with the time left up here in the percentage, you'll kind of learn over time how much that you can do. So I had about 18% when I started chopping. I am going to get about 6 logs, 7 logs, and then I'm going to run back over here, start fletching them, and then I'm going to go ahead and start getting some more points. Now the way that the supply crates work are you get 2 rolls for 500 points, and for every additional 500 points you get another roll in the crate. But these points do roll over. So let's say in this round here I got 800 points. In the next round, if I only get 700 points, I will get 3 rolls in that crate, while I'll only get 2 rolls for the crate in this one. So as you can see, the game is now over, and I've gotten a supply crate here. You can open that and you get some loot. So I got 3 Lantodime seeds and 1 Quorum seed. Alright, so I got a few seconds till the next game. This time what I'm going to be doing is just the log chopping method, and I'll be explaining this as I go through too. So once again, we're going to come over here and light the brazier as the game begins to get that big ol' XP drop. And once again, run back over here to the same spot over here in the corner and start to chop some broomer roots. Now with this method, this is the method that you have to pay a little bit more attention to. Now you're not going to be fletching, so it's not going to be AFK, but this method is actually going to get you a lot more experience than the fletching method is. Now burning each log is a lot less XP than fletching, but you're going to be burning a lot more logs than you are if you just had the fletch kindling. Now with the fletch kindling, you generally only need about 20 if you don't light the brazier or don't fix it. But with this, you're going to need at least 50 logs burned, and that is if you don't get to fix the brazier or if you don't get to relight it when it goes out. Now I've got 23 here, so I'm going to run over here and start dumping them in. And once again, you're going to want to pay close attention to your HP. All these people under here, obviously you can't tell which health bar is yours, but definitely with this method you're going to have to pay attention, because you're going to need to get 50 logs in however long the game lasts. Now these games generally last about 5 minutes, so you have 5 minutes to burn 50 logs. Now when you're burning the logs, you will only get 10 points per log. Obviously what you need is 500. 500 divided by 10 is 50, and like I said earlier, if you get to fix the brazier and relight it, that'll be 50 or 25 points depending on what you get in, so you will need less logs for that. Alright, so what you can do after you've gotten your 500 points, now what you see here, I have 510 currently. Now what you can do if you just want to stop there, not take any more damage, not worry about anything, is that you can run over here into this little staging area where you won't take any damage from the cold. So if you get your 500 points and you are just done, you just come stand over here, wait for the game to end, get your crate, go recharge your stats. Alright, so as for a few other tidbits of information for Wintertodt, you can do Wintertodt once you hit level 50 fire making. So level 50 fire making is the absolute minimum fire making level that you need to do Wintertodt. Now at level 50 fire making, you can probably get around 150,000 experience per hour if you do the woodcutting method, which is pretty good for that level. Now with Wintertodt, experience scales with your levels, so each time you complete a Wintertodt with at least 500 points, you will get your fire making level times 100 as an XP drop at the very end of the game. So if you're level 50, times 100, you will get a 5,000 XP drop at the end of the game, plus you will get experience for burning the logs throughout the game. So depending on your fire making level, the experience will scale and you'll get more and more experience as you level up. Now once you hit about level 90 fire making, the experience per hour drastically increases. You can get over 300,000 experience per hour while doing Wintertodt with level 90 plus fire making. Now one more thing I do want to mention is there is a pyromancer around each brazier. He stands at the corner of the brazier and he kind of says some magic words and stuff and keeps the brazier lit and keeps the fire flowing in towards the Wintertodt to take its health down. Now this pyromancer can die. He can take the same damage as everybody else from the cold and from the attack that hits in a 3x3 square. If your pyromancer at your brazier dies, you will probably want to run to another one because not many people carry around the items that are needed to heal him. Now there is a brazier at each corner in the Wintertodt, but it's easier just to run between the east and west ones that you can see when you come in the game. So once again, if the brazier goes out and the pyromancer is not alive anymore, just travel to another one and continue on your merry way. Alright, and the last thing that I will show you guys is the loot that I got from all of the supply crates from level 88 to 99 fire making, because level 88 is where I started this grind. Now in this loot here, I made just a little over 7 million GP. Now there are some other things that you can get as drops, rune, adamant, mithril ore, but those are few and far between, honestly, so they're not in here, plus they're probably just lost in my bank somewhere. But I did get a ton of Snapdragon Siege, which mounted up to almost 2 million of this GP, and I had 20 Renard Seeds as well, almost 750k. I got 196 burnt pages, which are used in the Tome of Fire, which you can see I got 3 of those. As for drop rates, the Tome of Fire is a drop rate of 1 in 1500. So basically 1 in 750 since you get 2 rolls from each crate. Well, at minimum 2 rolls from each crate. Burnt pages are fairly common. As far as the pyromancer outfit goes, that is a drop rate for each piece of 1 in 50, and you get that in the order of the chest, then the hood, then the legs, then the boots. And you can also get the Phoenix Pet, which I think is a drop rate of 1 in 5,000, and you can also get a Dragon Hatchet from Wintertodt, which is a drop rate of 1 in 10,000. And if you get a Dragon Hatchet and not a Phoenix, I feel bad for you. But that is going to wrap up my crash course in Wintertodt guide. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you out if you are going for that 99 fire making grind. Wintertodt is definitely a great alternative to actually burning logs where you lose money. At least with Wintertodt, you can make a little bit of money while you're doing something that is very not fun. I did not enjoy doing this. It was not fun for me. I just felt like I took damage all the time, and I would not do it again. But if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. They really help the videos spread around. If you have not done so yet, please tap that subscribe button on your way out. All your subscribes really mean a lot to me. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, and I will try to get to every single one that I possibly can. Until next time, guys, take it easy.